Being called the best weapon in any sort of game, especially Warframe, it takes a big shoes to fill, and the Latron Prime puts those boots and starts immediately running with them. It is an amazing weapon. You're gonna find out all about this weapon in this video. We have a lot of damage, killing acolytes, killing eximists, and also those special sprinkles on top, making this, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game. Or not. I guess we'll have to watch and find out. Considering I already know the answer to this video, you guys are gonna have to keep on watching, and I hope you enjoy your journey. So, this weapon actually came out a really long time ago with Frost Prime, the Latron Prime that is. This weapon is actually really nice. It was my, I think, third primary weapon that was primed, and it has decent stats. They're rolling up on screen, but if you can't be bothered to look, 22% critical chance, 2.8 critical multiplier, and 26% status chance. Primarily doing puncture damage. It is a semi-auto rifle, not the best thing in the world, but the Incarnon mode definitely turns this weapon into a behemoth. Let's talk to the brother of the Latron, or I guess the second big brother. It is the Latron Wraith. On screen you can see the differences, but primarily the Latron Prime is better in every case. Now, it does have lower critical chance, which is gonna influence a little bit, and lower fire rate, but other than that, everything else is a bit higher. I have used both, and in my opinion, the Latron Prime seems to come out on top in 99% of scenarios. It is completely up to you, whichever you want to use, but you do have those little drawbacks. Now we can actually cover the evolutions, the first one being, I think, one of the best ones. It turns the Latron Prime into basically an amplified version of itself, where it fires projectiles that deal heat damage, that bounce around and ricochet off of enemies and terrain, exploding up to 6 times with a 4-meter radius. You do have a collision that does guaranteed impact damage, and then the explosion itself is gonna deal puncture and heat. The explosion radius can be benefited from a firestorm or the primed variant. We might not use it, we might, I guess you'll have to watch and find out. Slash is completely removed from the equation here in the Incarnon mode, but we will get it back soon enough. But before we do, the evolution number 2. Riddle the target increases the damage by base of 6, and on puncture status effect you gain 25% multi-shot for 8 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. This is actually really good, and the bonus stacks additively with multi-shot mods such as Split Chamber or, for example, the Galvanized mods. And then we have Swift Punishment, increases the damage by 6, and with sprint speed over 1.2 or higher, you gain 30% direct damage per status type affecting the target. This is going to turn your weapon basically having aptitude for free, or I guess you could say condition overload. So this is not a bad one as well, but this is very Warframe specific. For Evolution 3, we have Marksman's Hand, reducing the recoil by 60%, Extended Volley, increasing the base magazine capacity by 15, and Marksman's Focus, reducing the zoom by 30%. I've chosen Marksman's Focus. You can choose Marksman's Hand, for example, but on the Incarnon mode, you basically have no recoil, and Extended Volley is a decent choice. So I guess you could choose either one of the two. Evolution 4 is the next one to go, and then we have Fling Spikes. This is the best evolution in every Incarnon weapon. Removes 20% of enemy armor per puncture status effect, and that's basically it. And you can just attack everything, they're gonna bounce around and armor strip the enemies. But let's give the other evolutions a shot. Deadhead increases your headshot damage multiplier by 100%, and we have Critical Parallel, increasing your base critical chance by 24% for the Prime version, and increasing the critical damage multiplier by another 0.2. I didn't mention on Deadhead the bonus stacks additively with other headshot multipliers, for example using primary Deadhead, which I think it is about time we actually cover the main Latron build. And this is it. This is the one that I primarily used in the gameplay, and this is the one where you gain red crits. We're using 2 galvanized mods, chamber and scope, hunter munitions, bringing that slash back, and we are using malignant force and rhyme rounds, giving us viral alongside rifle elementalist critical mods, primary Deadhead as we previously mentioned, and vigilante supplies. Vigilante supplies is only here for the 5% critical chance bonus, so you don't really necessarily need it. Trying to use any other elements, corrosive is not needed here. You fully armor strip enemies with your puncture alone, and the best thing against non-armored enemies is gonna be slash, and combining that with viral makes it even better, and you're gonna proc viral a lot. Now, I've tried using internal bleeding. In most case scenarios, it seems like hunter munitions is better, but you can definitely try it out for yourself. What else you can try out is the second build up on screen right now. This is your Latron Prime all use case scenario. We have Prime Firestorm here, so we're not utilizing Galvanized Scope, and we have Primary Merciless. This is gonna be just no brain, no aim, shoot, kill everything, bounce around, everything is dead. And that is mostly it for the weapon and the build itself. Charging it up is incredibly easy. Get around 2 or 3 headshots on just random trash units and it's already charged up. If you combine it with a Warframe, that's even better than Revenant, which Revenant doesn't do anything. So combining it with, for example, you have seen Gauss and you have also seen a little bit of Harrow. So combining with other Warframes is going to be incredibly good. Now, what makes this weapon the best weapon in Warframe for me? Well, first of all, the incredibly easy Incarnon mode to charge. It takes 3 shots and it's fully charged up. It fires ricocheting explosive projectiles that fully armor ship enemies in a couple of seconds, also completely delete them in a couple of seconds. As you may have seen, you can use Revenant, and Revenant doesn't do anything, as I keep on mentioning, and you can still keep on winning in Steel Path because you have armor shipping and you have incredibly good damage. The main ingredient in surviving in Steel Path, alongside your Warframe being incredibly tanky. But this weapon is an all-use weapon. If you can get your hands on this weapon, you're gonna be incredibly happy. I don't actually even touch the Latron Incarnon just because it's so good, and it would make like half of my builds completely obsolete if I were just to use this weapon. So that's why. Have fun. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave your comments down in the comment section down below. Quite interested in what you think of the weapon and how you use it, and some builds maybe. I don't know, maybe you guys have some interesting builds. I love all of you. This has been your lovely host Weasel. Thank you for subscribing, liking, all of that cool jazz, and thank you very much for being a member, donating, and all of that. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.